Hi, my name is Justin, aka Ghost Reader, and today I'm coming to you with a book review of the book Freedom Roots, Histories from the Caribbean by Laurent DuBois and Richard Lee Turits. This is published by the University of North Carolina Press and is out in stores now. I got this as an ARC from NetGalley, and so I'd like to thank the University of NC Press, North Carolina Press, and also NetGalley for a chance to review this book. So this book actually I think got published in December. It was just taking me a while to get through it. This book is basically a history of the Caribbean, and really a history of how the Caribbean has been shaped by colonization, and then what the Caribbean nations went through in order to gain their independence, and kind of what many of the major nations in the Caribbean, the challenges that they face to try to make their own way in the world, with, say, the United States there trying to dictate what they should be doing and what policies they should take. So this, I thought, was a very good read. It delved into how land has been very important, and how the land is used has been very important to how a lot of these nations have developed and where they have gone politically and socially forward. So, with Haiti, for example, you have the slaves who eventually won their freedom, and these slaves, after they won their freedom, of course, wanted their own plots of land in which to basically grow, be able to produce their own food, be able to basically have a source of income, a place where their family and their descendants could have to come back to, and always have a piece of land. There's a lot of value to land that allows you to do a lot more than when you're just a simple wage worker with no property at all. And the shortage of land, or rather the accumulation of land by big companies that had foreign interests, mostly American, was very critical to a lot of how the history of the Caribbean has played out. The book goes into that, from Haiti to Cuba, and the revolution that happened there. I thought it was a very good explanation on what happened in Cuba during that time, with the rise of Fidel Castro and how they got to that. I thought it was really good. I learned a lot, actually, about the history of the Cuban Revolution and the Caribbean as a whole from this book, which I thought was very good. The book isn't really dense or dry. It's very easy to read. So if you are looking for history for the Caribbean, I definitely suggest this is a book that you want to pick up. But yeah, it looks at the Cuban Revolution, and how Cuba had two ways to go. It could become like a democracy, or it could go like it did to become communism, and how the interplay and the interference in the United States kind of forced Cuba to go one way in order to try to maintain its independence. And you kind of have like the struggle in the Caribbean, which you see in the book, where you have the people trying to decide their own destiny, but the United States claiming the Caribbean as its own backyard, and thus claiming that the right to kind of dictate what those Caribbean islands did, because you don't want to have a communist in their worldview. You didn't want to have a communist country on your doorstep. So you see, as a lot of these Caribbean nations are trying to make a way for themselves, they also have to take into account what the United States think, because we don't want to get invaded, or which has happened to some of these countries, where troops will come in, American troops will come in to settle, the political turmoil, create like a U.S.-backed army that they kind of control, the answers to them, and then the United States kind of just sits back and wants to dictate policy. So a lot of these nations, whether that be Cuba or the Dominican Republic, Grenada, Jamaica. So all of these countries in the Caribbean had to take into account what the United States wanted them to do. And a lot of these countries, a lot of them tried to basically go more towards a system that helped a lot of their people, whether that be land reform, or providing more, like educational subsidies, or just basically stuff that would help their people get better. But a lot of times when people push that policy and it clash with American business interests, which may be like land reform. So we're going to take some land from you American companies and spread it amongst our people. That was like a huge no-no. The businessmen would go to the United States, say, oh, that's communism, and boom. The United States would start either put in a coup, try to invade. So there's a lot of that goes on. Unfortunately, so a lot of these countries have a lot of stops and starts when they try to move ahead. But I thought that this was a good book. Definitely gives you a nice overview of the nations of the Caribbean, how they tried to form their own destinies, but the United States still kind of was always had a hand in trying to guide where they went, successfully in some cases, unsuccessfully in others, like Cuba, for example. But that's what the nations in the Caribbean had to deal with. So I thought this was pretty good, showing the relationship between what was the freedom that the people in the Caribbean and trying to decide their own destiny in the land that they had, and also trying to balance that against foreign interests in their nations. So if I had to give this book a star rating, I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Like I said, you can pick this up in bookstores now. And so yeah, if you want to if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at GhostReads28, on Instagram at Justin the Ghost Reader, and on Goodreads. The link to that's down in the description box below. So as always, keep reading.